Carrie, hello. Kay Alexander with Vanity Fair. So nice to finally get a chance to talk. Oh, Miss Alexander, likewise. I've been following your work for a long time. Well, call me Kay. And I have to tell you, I love the new book. And I'm not just saying that. I just wish we could have sat down before the paperback release. Oh, well, thanks. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. And I love getting a chance to profile new authors when they are just getting started. If I can be integral to that success in any way, I want to be. Well, that's very nice of you, Miss Alexander. I appreciate that. So listen, the first thing I wanted to ask you was, why did you decide to go with fiction? I mean, this novel seems to tie rather strictly to your life story from what I can surmise. Well, I considered a memoir, but I figured who wants to read about someone they don't know? There's been many successful memoirs by unknown writers, though. Yeah, well, I'm just explaining my thinking at the time. Or, well, never mind. What is it? I was going to say that my thinking has changed, but how it's changed, that would have to be off the record. Okay, fine. It's off the record. Seriously? That's all I have to say is I want something off the record and you won't write about it? That's how it's done, yeah. Oh, wow. Well, okay. I was just going to say that, yes, my fiction is rather autobiographical, but it isn't something I want to advertise. And why is that? Well, I want to talk about my family, things that have happened to me, but through the eyes of my characters. Well, yes, of course. All great authors have done that. Their characters were just thinly veiled portraits of many people in their own lives. Yes, exactly, but the thing is, when the book was first released, my family eventually caught on to what I was doing. It kind of causes a lot of problems. I see. Well, we can get into that. We can? So, this mother character then, Elizabeth, is she based on your mother? Are we back on the record? That all depends on what you'd like to talk about. I think Elizabeth represents all of our mothers, in a way. The smothering love, the guilt, the moping. Well, it's certainly a striking portrait of middle-class suburban madness. I hope we can put that on the next edition, maybe? You'll have to talk to my editors about that. So, the sister character, Evelyn, she's quite fascinating. Yes, Evelyn was a lot of fun to write. Really? That's kind of surprising to me. It would seem like a rather difficult character to write. With all the jealousy and insecurities and such, it must have been exhausting. Well, it could often be, but I feel it's important as a writer to have a very specific routine. So, is Evelyn based on your sister Rosanna? Are we still off the record? If you don't want to talk about your family, Carrie, it's fine. Just say so. It's not that I don't want to talk about them, it's just that I don't want to talk about them in relation to this book. Oh, really? Well, maybe we can just get it out of the way, use it as a frame of reference. After all, they are the foundation of your book. I don't know, this is my first major interview. I don't want to get burned. I assure you, we won't publish anything that you don't want us to. You can take anything out that you please. Well, my family didn't want to read any of my advanced copies. They wanted to buy it in a bookstore, except my sister. She's just pre-ordering it on her Kindle. So, your parents and your sister? I don't know if my dad will ever even read it, to tell you the truth. The most he ever read was the newspaper and lawnmower manuals. Well, that's a shame. He's the only one who ends up looking okay. Yeah, well, Carrie, I don't mean to make you uncomfortable, but... okay? Didn't you think that when your family read The Quilted Moon, they'd realize it was about them? Oh, I don't know about that, Kay. You have no idea of my family's capabilities for self-absorption. Carrie, I am so excited! Today is the day, finally! My daughter is going to be a published author! I know, Mom, I can't believe it. It's all really happening. Oh, honey, you know that we are all just so proud of you. Well, don't be too proud yet. You haven't even read the thing. Yes, but I'm sure that it's excellent. I love everything that you write. Well, not everything. Okay, so there were some stories back in the college days that I wasn't necessarily so fond of, but you were going through a phase. Right, well, this is definitely a different genre. Are you sure that you don't even want to know just the synopsis? Nope, I want it all to be a surprise. I want to have no expectations and the story to just wash over me. Well, I really could have just given you a copy. We had a box of them in the garage for 2 weeks. Nope, I want to stand in line at the bookstore like everybody else. Oh, Mom, I don't think you should expect any kind of a line for my book. Oh, whatever. If there isn't, it's only because the public has lost their taste for great literature. Oh, jeez. Great literature. It's all these tablets and phones and video games. Children don't even read anymore. Well, hopefully that will change. Oh, maybe your next book should be a children's book. Mom, I don't know. Oh, I know you don't like to be told what to write. Excuse me. It's okay, no harm done. I just thought I was giving a helpful suggestion, but... So I wish your sister would come with me to the bookstore instead of reading your book on her stupid little device. Well, it doesn't matter to me. I get the same percentage. Now, honey, don't let it become all about money right at the start. Okay, Mom. Well, do you think Dad will read it? I mean, can we bribe him or something? Craft beers, maybe? Well, your father simply can't keep track of stories like that. His attention span is just too diverse. Well, maybe you can read it to him before you guys go to sleep or something. Oh, yeah, right. We'd both be out like a light, I'm sure. I mean, just because we'd be so tired and all. Well, you'll have to let me know what you think of the book. Rosanna, too, of course. Oh, I will. And you know Rosanna. I'm sure she will, too. Hey, Rosanna, what's up?
Oh, hello, Miss Author. How's it going? Write any good books lately?
Well, I don't know. I'll let you be the judge of that.
Oh, well, I haven't gotten a chance to read that much into it yet.
Oh, okay, no problem. Take your time. Actually, I think it's better to read books slowly.
Yeah, well, I got a little ways in, though.
Like how much?
The neighbor just chased the kid down the street with a rolling pin.
Oh, yeah, well, that's pretty far. So what do you think?
I really like it. It's good.
That's it? That's all you have to say about it?
Well, what else is there to say? That I don't like it?
No, I was just wondering if maybe you had any other thoughts about it.
Like what?
I don't know, like the characters? Like the mom, for instance, Elizabeth.
Yeah, she's interesting. Kind of a character, you know.
And where do you think her relationship with the oldest daughter is going?
I don't know, but nowhere good.
Really? What makes you say that?
Why? Am I wrong?
No, I'm just curious. It's interesting to get my sister's take.
Well, that sister is a total bimbo idiot mouth breather, for one. I don't think anyone could stand her for over 5 minutes. Even that kooky mother character, Elizabeth, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I like that one brother, though. The one who has his crap together and is an editor or whatever in New York.
Oh?
Yeah, I mean, he's not somebody that I'd, want to hang out with or anything, but I admire his courage to follow his dreams, you know?
Oh, well, thank you.
The dad character is cool, too. Very laid back.
Yeah, Charlie. He's a fun character.
Yeah, Charlie. Charlie reminds me of our dad.
Oh, well, writers are inspired by their everyday lives. They would have to be, right?
Yeah, I could see that.
Or maybe I was just feeling lazy the day I created that character and a little too much of dad bled in.
Well, I better see myself there.
Oh, no, Rosanna, it's a work of pure fiction. Any resemblance to persons living or dead is merely coincidental.
Okay, well, I am going to read some more after I get home from my date with Josiah. That is, if I make it back home.
Okay, well, I'm going to leave you to that, and let me know what you think, okay?
Okay, I will do.
Carrie? Oh, hey, Mom, how's it going? I've been meaning to call you.
Oh, yeah? And why haven't you?
Well, I guess I've just been busy with promotion and all.
And also, I wanted to give you a chance to actually read it.
Yes, of course. Read it.
Well, how far have you gotten along in it? Oh, far enough to realize something very familiar in the story. Oh, really? What might that be? This sister character, Evelyn, the one who backstabs everyone on the 4th of July and tells everyone about the pregnancy? Yeah, what about her? Well, she's based on your Aunt Marcia, isn't she? Aunt Marcia? Oh, no, Mom, definitely not. Don't lie to me. The story about the barbecue, the fireworks, the fingers, how she had to take your cousin to the ER and have them sewn back on. Mom, I assure you, Evelyn is not based on your sister. Oh, well, I see. I guess I have to apologize then. You understand, honey, I'm just so intensely private of a person. I can't stand having our family's dirty laundry aired out all over the place for the world to see. Right, of course. So tell me, will there be any more surprises for me down the line? I mean, I'm not going to find me in here, am I? Mom, I assure you, it's a work of fiction. Any similarities to people, real or fake? Yeah, I read the front page. That doesn't mean they couldn't be inspired by them. Well, everything is inspired by something, Mom. You wouldn't have any stories if the tellers didn't have people in their lives who inspired them. So you're saying that I should take it as a compliment if my family's dirty laundry is aired for the world to read? That's not what's happening, so you don't need to worry about it, okay? Well, I don't know. Maybe you're just projecting, you know? You thought maybe you'd see our family in it, so now you are. Well, I suppose I'll keep that in mind as I read along. Please do. So, fiction, right? Yes, Mom, it's fiction. That's what section it was in the bookstore, right? So, at that point, your mother and sister still didn't know that the book's main characters were essentially based on them? Yes, but they were getting warmer. Mom didn't think Evelyn was really Rosanna, but her own sister instead. And Rosanna, my real sister, hated Evelyn and loved the brother character. The brother. Fisher? Yes, Fisher. So, Fisher was based on you. I had a feeling. And why is that? A young, hungry editor going to New York to chase his dreams? Except for you, it was a writer, and New York is now redundant. Not in the minds of my readers, I suppose. Especially when it comes to your sister. So, do you think that's where the jealousy comes in? You mean, do I think that my sister hated the Evelyn character so much because she saw herself in her? Well, yes, I guess so. Yeah, that's a safe assumption. But why did she love the brother character so much when, in my eyes, Fisher is clearly you? I don't know, Kay. That's for her shrink to figure out. So, what about your dad? Was he reading the book, or at least attempting to read it? Well, the thing is, my dad still hasn't read it. Oh, so it's still in between, what did you say it was, lawnmower manuals? Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, my mom says that he hasn't picked it up, but who knows, really? And what did your father say back at the time? Back when things were beginning to brew. He did say that he had a feeling Mom was beginning to, turn on the book, is how he put it. It was a few nights after that, I think.
Hey, hon, how's it going?
Hey, Dad, what's up?
Have you talked to your agent yet about how well the books have been selling?
Oh, Dad, come on, no.
Well, why not? It's important, don't you think?
Yeah, it's important, but I have enough going on as is.
Uh-oh, what's going on, kid?
Oh, I'm just stressed about it, you know. I've been waiting so long for this to happen, and now it finally has.
Yeah, now it finally has.
I'm not saying it was anticlimactic or anything, but I guess I'm just not feeling the overabundance of joy I expected.
Well, honey, sometimes when you build something up in your mind for a real long time, you just end up disappointed.
Yeah, maybe, but I really am proud of the way the book turned out. I'm hoping that you'll read it sometime.
I will get around to it, honey. It's just, I don't know. I think I have one of those learning disabilities or something. maybe back when I was a kid, they couldn't see the signs for whatever it is.
You know, Dad, you can get the book on tape.
On tape? You mean like I can listen to it?
Yes, Dad, you can listen to it.
Oh, well, I guess I'd have to learn how to work the technology.
I can help you with it. I'm sure the two of us can figure it out.
Well, listen. I've been meaning to ask you something, though, about your mother in the book.
Okay.
Well, are any characters in it based on her?
I already told her that she wasn't in it, Dad.
Yeah, but Evelyn does seem pretty close to your mother, you have to admit.
So you do know about my story?
Your mom reads me the passages she finds most offensive.
You know, this is just another example of her making everything about herself. Not to mention the persecution complex. Oh yeah, I based the villain of my book off of her or something. How self-important can you get?
Well, anyway, like I said, I will read it, or listen to it, but your mother, the more she gets into it, the madder she gets.
Well, I really can't help that now, can't I? Maybe she should just put the book down for a while.
Yeah, that might help, but in the end, you two need to work this out.
Dad, there's nothing to work out. There's no character based on her.
Come on, don't lie to me now.
Okay, fine. Maybe there are some similarities between her and the mother, but they are purely coincidental, just like the first pages say.
Some of the things she was reading to me seemed, weirdly specific, though.
Like what?
Forgetting to pick the kid up from choir practice.
That could happen to anybody, though.
The safety-pinned prom dress and the red wine.
Oh, she's already gotten that far? Wow.
Your mother is a very fast reader.
Well, okay, maybe some things are a little more than a coincidence, but I'm an artist. My light shines through my work.
That's fine, but you have to be willing to suffer the consequences.
Hey, Carrie, what's up? So what's going on in your book? Hi, Rosanna, and what do you mean? Well, why is the sister being so terrible to the brother? I mean, she's like totally evil. Really? That's how you interpret it? Well, how else could you interpret it? She mocks him incessantly, steals from him, bullies him. I feel it's important to show certain families as they are, warts and all. What a terrible family, then. I'm glad I'm not a part of it. What do you mean? I mean, I'm glad I'm not part of a family like that treats each other like crap. Well, what about the brother? You said you like him. Yeah, I did, but the more it goes along and the more I think about it, he just seems like kind of a pompous jerk. Oh, a jerk, huh? Yeah, like when he decides to come back home for Thanksgiving, even though he could have seen some girlfriend instead. Then acted like it was some big sacrifice for his family, even though they never asked him to choose. Like, what a blowhard. Well, I think it was a big sacrifice. Harriet was about to defect to Russia. Okay, well, that wasn't Evelyn's idea. You know what I mean? So you think Fisher is kind of seeing himself as the hero, but really he's just kind of a jerk with a superiority complex? Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm sorry, Carrie, but I'm not really digging your main character right now. But the mother? Wow. What about the mother? Well, it's no mystery who inspired her anymore. Not after the Christmas Eve gas can incident. I thought I added enough details to obscure the truth there. Well, you didn't do a very good job. I haven't talked to Mom in a couple of days. Well, she's finished the book. She has? She didn't tell me. Don't worry, she didn't give me any spoilers. That's not what I'm worried about. Hey, Mom. So I heard you finished the book. Oh, did your sister tell you or something? Yeah. Is that a problem? Well, I don't remember Evelyn telling Fisher everything their mother says. Okay, Mom, I get it. You get what? What do you get? You got me, okay? A lot of the novel. Novel? Psh! A lot of it is based on our family, okay? Based on? It is our family! No, it's not. That's not true. It really is different, you know. Well, I know what I see, and your sister knows what she sees, too. And what about Dad? Oh, your father doesn't see anything. I just don't know how you could have done this to us, to our family. You mean to you? What do you mean to me, to all of us? This is shameful for everyone. We were the ones that had to actually live through these memories, Mom. What memories? What are you talking about? The reason that I had to talk about these things was because of you and the trauma I had from it. Writing that book was basically therapy for me. But I don't understand. Why didn't you just go to therapy then? I did. I do. But I needed to write the book too. But I also know that I screwed up big time by not preparing you for it. Not that you would have approved anyway. Of course I wouldn't have approved of you telling the story of me and the plumber's assistant. Well, I'm sorry. Maybe I got a little carried away. You're my daughter, and I can only forgive you under one circumstance. Okay. In any and every interview you ever do for this book or any other, you must never reveal who this is really about. Really? Like, ever? Ever. What about after you die? Even then, even in death, I don't want people knowing the unicycle story. But Mom, you think we're all worm food when we die. What do you care what people think of you then? Well, okay, fine, but it has to be at least a year after I die. Okay, fine. A year. It's a deal. No, 2. 2 years. It has to be 2. Well, we'll draw up a contract with my agent, okay? Deal. So, that's why you don't want me writing about your family. Yeah, well, it was kind of a big thing. It very nearly broke up the family. It was rough for a while there. So, did your sister ever finish the book? Yeah, she did. And how did she respond to the rest of the portrayal of Evelyn? Well, I'm not so sure that she ever fully caught on to which aspects of Evelyn were her or not, but her insights into Fisher are what I found to be most disturbing. Disturbing? Earth-shattering is more like it. And how so? Well, out of every reviewer, every beta reader, every draft my editor read, I never saw how self-absorbed I came off in the book. Oh, you didn't? Excuse me? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, but you mean Fisher wasn't meant to be a self-important twit? That thinks he's better than his family and has license to talk crap about them to all of his douchey New York elitist friends? Well, yeah, I guess so. Wow, I'm sorry. I thought that was the point of the character, that he goes through all of this stuff with his family, yet still he doesn't change. But why would that be the book? Well, it would be true to life, wouldn't it? There are people that go through life who never change. Just the same old person, day in and day out. Well, maybe I'll save it for the sequel. Hey, Dad. Did you see the article?
Oh, hey, honey. Yeah, we saw it.
This is so messed up. I have to tell you, that reporter totally led me to believe most of that stuff was off the record. I mean, it was a total betrayal. My agent's already talking to my lawyer. We're taking them to court for this.
Honey, it's okay. Seriously.
Seriously? But isn't Mom upset? I mean, her one condition of forgiveness was making me promise I would never talk about this to a reporter.
Well, first she was pretty shocked. She went into the bedroom for a long time and sat there by herself.
Oh, so it was one of those then, huh?
Yeah, I noticed you didn't put any of those in the book.
So you read the book, huh?
I read it all along, honey. I just didn't know how to talk to you about it.
What, really?
Hell, I read every draft you gave me to read.
But why didn't you tell me?
I don't know. I just can't relate to your intelligence in that way.
But, Dad, I can't relate to yours. I couldn't ride a lawnmower, much less repair one.
I'd love to show you sometime.
Well, sure, but I wish you'd been honest.
I think this family has a lot to learn about honesty.
Yeah, I'll say, but Mom's okay, you said?
She came out of the bedroom after a good 5 or 6 hours.
Oh.
And somehow realized that there was no way you would have let this happen if you knew a thing about it.
Well, that's very generous of her.
But then she said something that really shocked me.
And what was that?
She said, "Screw it anyway."
Oh, really?
Who knows, maybe your old mom is finally letting go after all these years.
Well, that would be nice for everyone, most of all herself.
So what's the next book going to be about?
I'm thinking a legal thriller, actually.
Ah, so you're stepping outside your genre of messed up family a little then?
Oh no, there will still be a messed up family. There always has to be a messed up family. After 3 years, The Quilted Moon was made into a limited series on Netflix. The entire family attended the premiere, and it was met with universal acclaim. Carrie's second novel, The Yellow Print, details a young writer's journey of revenge against a slanderous, lying reporter. It debuted on the New York Times bestseller list and will soon be made into a film directed by David Fincher.